CQ calling all radio amateurs and listeners. This is Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra, the news broadcasting service of the Radio Society of Great Britain. This broadcast comes to you in plain English from amateur radio station Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Mappishall, Bedfordshire. Welcome and thanks for joining us. It's Sunday the 20th of July and here's the GB2RS news broadcast prepared for you by the RSGB for all radio amateurs and listeners. You can also find this news bulletin on our website at rsgb.org, along with links to groups and organisations that we may mention in this broadcast. This week's news headlines. We launched the GB2RS Awards to celebrate 70 years of the GB2RS news service. We announce our new volunteer RSGB STEM champion. And we have reasons for you to visit the RSGB National Radio Centre during the summer holidays. We'll have more on those items shortly, but first, our weekly news broadcasts, GB2RS, celebrate their 70th anniversary this year. And to mark the occasion, we invite you to collect awards when you hear and log GB2RS news broadcasts between Friday the 1st of August and Tuesday the 30th of September. There are 4 award categories for you to go for, including a basic listener award and a regular listener award. You can find full details of the programme as well as the rules and how to apply for your certificate on the GB2RS page at qrz.com. You can read about the awards and wider celebrations for the 70th anniversary of GB2RS at rsgb.org/GB70RS. That's Golf Bravo 70 Romeo Sierra. RSGB Board Director Ben Lloyd, Golf Whiskey 4 Bravo Mike Lima, has appointed Ian Stevenson, Golf 3 Yankee November uniform, as the volunteer RSGB STEM champion. This new role adds to our plans to introduce amateur radio to more people and to show how amateur radio fits well with science, technology, engineering and maths. Ian is ideal for the role, having taught maths for 10 years, with 23 years in higher education as a senior lecturer in ICT and education. Ian also helped to establish the RSGB School Links project, which added amateur radio-related activities to the school curricula, following Tim Peake's Principia mission to the International Space Station, and that included 10 UK ARISS school contacts while Tim was in space. In his new RSGB role, Ian is keen to foster close ties with STEM organisations and STEM ambassadors across the UK, including those already working with the RSGB. So if you have ideas to enhance the RSGB's STEM outreach programme, you can contact Ian. His email address is stem.champion@rsgb.org.uk. Now, do you want an activity to keep the children busy during the summer holidays? Well, why not plan a visit to the RSGB National Radio Centre at Bletchley Park? The enthusiastic volunteers will be on hand to introduce them to radio technology, how it works, and why it's still relevant today. There are interactive displays as well as the chance to get a certificate if you send your name in Morse code. There'll be 3 more of the successful Spy transmitter events during the summer, so keep an eye on the Bletchley Park website and the RSGB comms channels if you'd like to take part. To plan your visit, go to rsgb.org/NRC, that's NRC for National Radio Centre, and remember that if you're an RSGB member, then you can visit the world-famous Bletchley Park estate, including the RSGB National Radio Centre, for free. So download your voucher from rsgb.org/BP voucher. Did you know that the Radio Communication Foundation can fund young people who need help with the foundation licence exam fee? They must be under 21 and in full-time education, so if you know someone who may be eligible, then please do spread the word and promote this offer. You can find out more and apply for funding at Comms Foundation, all one word, Comms Foundation, that's COMMS Foundation.co.uk, and once you're there, select RCF Grants, that's Romeo Charlie Foxtrot Grants, from the sub-menu. This year marked the centenary of the unique mechanical Alexanderson alternator transmitter, which is at Grimmerton near Varberg in Sweden. GB2RS newsreader and NRC volunteer Brian Hardy, Golf 4 Bravo India Papa, travelled to Sweden for a special 70th birthday trip with his partner Hillary, Golf 7 Sierra Oscar India. And on the 2nd of July, they watched SAQ in action on 17.2 kHz as part of the celebration. Brian was even allowed to key up the station ahead of the formal transmission and sent some test messages. Well, despite SAQ having a power output of 80 kilowatts, no one came back to his CQ call. However, it was a big tick on his bucket list. Now, the station is usually fired up twice a year and is well worth a visit. You can discover much more, including a fascinating YouTube video of the centenary event. Just go to alexander.n-for-november.se. So that's alexander.n.se. Now we have news of the UK 6 metre group's AGM, which will be held via Zoom on Sunday the 27th of July, and that's at 1700 UTC. The AGM will include the group's financial report, and there'll also be presentation of officers' reports and elections. For more information about the group, you can visit uksmg.org. And finally, in the headlines, remember that 145 Alive is on today from noon to 3 p.m. There'll be 47 nets on the air from high points all over the UK and Ireland, with over 1,000 participants. To take part, just call into a local net and make contacts with others on 2 meters. You can find out more on the 145 Alive Facebook page, or you can email 145alive UK, that's all one word, 145alive UK @gmail.com. Well, now we have details of rallies and events. The Bury St Edmunds Radio Rally is today the 20th, and that's being held at the Rougham Tower Museum, and that's at postcode India Papa 327 Quebec Bravo. The doors open at 7 a.m. for traders and 9:30 a.m. for visitors, and refreshments are available from the museum's cafeteria. Admission for visitors and car booters is £3, and if you're a trader, then entry is £10. For more details, you can email secretary@bsears.co.uk, and I'll spell that bit. It's Bravo Sierra Echo Alpha Romeo Sierra.co.uk. The Lincoln Shortwave Club's Summer Radio Rally is also on today. That's being held at the Festival Hall on Caister Road in Market Raisin, and the postcode is Lima November 8 3 Hotel Tango. The doors open from 10 a.m. and entry is £3. This is an indoor event with ample free car parking, and for more information you can phone Steve, Mike 5 Zulu Zulu Zulu. Steve's phone number is 077 77699 069, or you can email him on Mike5 Zulu 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 @outlook.com. The Wiltshire Radio Rally will take place on Sunday the 27th of July at Kington Langley Village Hall. That's on Church Road in Kington Langley, and the postcode is Sierra November 155 November Juliet. The doors open for traders at 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. for visitors, and refreshments will be available on site. You can find out more at their website, which is Chippenham Radio. That's all one word, and I'll spell it for you. It's CHIPPENHAMRADIO, chippenhamradio.club. And now we have the special event news. Special call sign Delta Lima 0 Sierra Oscar Papa is active until the 31st of July, and that's for the 67th edition of the Sea of Peace Award. You can find details about the award at tinyurl.com/Sea of Peace, and that's all one word, Sea of Peace. You can QSL via Club Logs OQRS, or you can use Logbook of the World as well as EQSL. Now, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Singapore's independence on the 9th of August 1965, the Singapore Amateur Radio Transmitting Society's members will be allowed to replace their normal prefix, 9 Victor 1, with the special prefix Sierra 60, and that's until the 9th of August. So, if you want to put some S60 calls in your log, now is the time. And now we move across to the DX news. Michael, Victor Echo 2 X-Ray Bravo, is active as Tango Foxtrot / Victor Echo 2 X-Ray Bravo. He's operating from Olafsvik, that's in Iceland. The IOTA reference is Echo Uniform 021, and Michael will be active until the 25th of July. He's using CW and SSB on 80 to 10 meters. And you can QSL via Michael's home call, which is Victor Echo 2 X-Ray Bravo. The India Papa 1 X-Ray team will be active from Gallinara Island, that's IOTA reference Echo Uniform 083. They'll be active on the 26th and 27th of July. The team will operate CW and SSB on 80 to 10 meters. You can QSL via OQRS or via the Bureau, or direct to India Uniform 1 Juliet Charlie Zulu. And you can find more information at qrz.com. Once you're there, look in the top left-hand corner. There's a search box. Put the call sign India Papa 1 X-Ray in there, and you'll find out all you need to know. And now we have the contest news. Today, the 20th, it's the RSGB's International Low Power Contest, which runs from 0900 to 1600 UTC. Using Morse code on the 80, 40 and 20 meter bands, the exchange is signal report, serial number and your transmitter power. Then on Tuesday the 22nd, it's the RSGB's SHF UK Activity Contest. That runs from 1830 to 2130 UTC. Using all modes on the 2.3 to 10 GHz bands, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. Then on Thursday the 24th, it's the RSGB's 80 meter Club Championship Data Contest. That runs from 1900 to 2030 UTC. Using RTTY and PSK 63 on the 80 meter band, the exchange is signal report and serial number. Then we have the RSGB's IOTA contest, that's Islands on the Air. That starts at 1200 UTC on Saturday the 26th and ends at 1200 UTC on Sunday the 27th of July. Using Morse code and SSB on the 80 to 10 meter bands where contests are allowed, the exchange is signal report, serial number and IOTA reference. And finally, on Sunday the 27th, it's the UK Microwave Group's 5.7 and 10 GHz contest, and that runs from 0600 to 1800 UTC. Using all modes on the 5.7 and 10 GHz bands, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. And now we have the HF Radio Propagation Report. This was compiled by Golf 0 Kilo Yankee Alpha, Golf 3 Yankee Lima Alpha and Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar on Thursday the 17th. Space weather has been unsettled this week with sunspots, C-class solar flares, coronal mass ejections and a large coronal hole. Luckily, the coronal mass ejections were not Earth-directed, but the KP index did rise to 5 on the 15th of July and again late on the 16th of July. The large coronal hole, which may have been responsible, is well south on the Sun's surface and should rotate out of Earth's view by the start of the coming week. The sun appears to have woken up with 11 groups of sunspots on the 17th of July, 4 of which are growing, while 2 are stable and 3 are declining, and 2 groups are currently unclassified. This caused the solar flux index to rise to 152 on Thursday the 17th. This means reasonable HF conditions considering the time of year. Recent DX spots include the Juliet Whiskey Zero Victor DXpedition to Svalbard on SSB and FT8, and Charlie 93 Romeo Romeo Charlie in Mozambique on 17 meters CW and FT8, on 17 meters CW and FT8 on 30, 20 and 10 meters. Now, conditions have been up and down, with daytime maximum usable frequencies over 3,000 kilometers up to 28 megahertz at times, quickly declining to 18 or 19 megahertz soon after. And all we can advise is to keep listening and keep calling, of course. Nighttime maximum usable frequencies over 3,000 kilometers have generally been above 10 megahertz, occasionally reaching 14 megahertz. And we may see nighttime 14 megahertz openings reduce in late July. Now, next week, NOAA predicts a solar flux index in the range of 118 to 130. Unsettled geomagnetic conditions with a KP of 4 are forecast for Tuesday, the 22nd of July. And now we have the VHF and up propagation news. This was compiled by Golf 3 Yankee Lima Alpha and Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar. The unsettled weather over this weekend will continue through the first part of the coming week. Some rain will be heavy and maybe thundery, so there's a good chance of rain scatter on the gigahertz bands. After midweek, the pattern may change for a weak ridge of high pressure to build close to the UK, which may offer some tropo. Now, it may not be strong enough for it to last through the warmth of a July day, so most places will have a better chance of tropo overnight. The solar conditions have recently triggered several aurora alerts, and we can expect similar in the coming week. Meteor scatter is often on our minds during late summer, since we have 2 showers near the end of the month and with the Perseids in August. The Delta Aquarids and the Alpha Capricornids peak around the 30th of July, but we're already in the broad spread of dates for activity. Sporadic E is still seen on most days within Europe, but even UK stations can expect regular FT8 activity and a fair chance of CW or SSB paths for stronger events. Last Wednesday saw another early afternoon opening into the USA. These stronger events need a low KP index, preferably below 3, and some jet stream activity to generate turbulence that can spread upwards to the E region. In the coming week, we'll have some jet stream activity, so monitor your favourite beacons for activity. It's always helpful to have a list of beacons at the ready to cover a range of directions. For example, you could have a beacon in Finland, one in Poland, another in Hungary, Italy and Spain, and that should cover it. For moon bounce operators, moon declination is positive. It reaches maximum on Tuesday the 22nd with associated long moon windows and high peak elevation. Path losses continue to fall until perigee today, Sunday the 20th. 144 MHz sky noise is moderate, but on Thursday the 24th we'll see the moon and sun close together in the sky until early the following day. And that's all from the propagation team this week. This is Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra, the news broadcasting service of the Radio Society of Great Britain, brought to you by amateur radio station Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Meppershall, Bedfordshire. And we now have the local news. And you can find details of all RSGB affiliated clubs and societies on our website, and that includes email addresses and website links where known. And we start off with news for the Midlands. The Bolsover Amateur Radio Society meet on the first and third Tuesday of the month at Hillstown Village Hall, that's postcode Sierra 446 Lima Whiskey, and their meetings start at 8 p.m. The Bromsgrove and District Amateur Radio Club meet every Friday from 8 p.m. and they have a coffee morning every Wednesday in the club shack from 10:30 a.m. The Burton Amateur Radio Club have a club night on Wednesdays from 7:30 p.m. and the Central Amateur Radio Circle meet on Saturdays at the Bloxwich Memorial Club. On Friday, the Coventry Amateur Radio Society will hold an operating evening from 8 p.m. at St Bart's. Today the 20th, the Hinckley Amateur Radio Society will be active from Burton Dasset. That's for Parks on the Air. Then on Wednesday, members will meet for a tea and coffee evening. The Leicester Radio Society meet every Monday evening from 7 p.m. The Lincoln Shortwave Club meet at the BSA Village Hall from 7:30 p.m. on Wednesdays and from 9:30 p.m. on Saturdays. On Tuesday, the Loughborough and District Amateur Radio Club will operate portable from Wymeswold, and that's subject to the weather. On Tuesday, the Malvern Hills Radio Amateurs Club will meet at Barnard's Green Cricket Club from 7:30 p.m. On Thursday, the Northampton Radio Club will hold a workshop at the Grangerwood Club from 8 p.m. Tomorrow the 21st, the Nunsfield House Amateur Radio Group will have a shack night and club net on 145.300 MHz from 8 p.m, while on Friday they'll meet for a programme planning session. On Thursday, RAF Waddington Amateur Radio Club will meet at the Pie Wipe Inn from 7:30 p.m, where Steve, Golf 1 Papa Papa Alpha, will talk about portable operation on the gigahertz bands. The Rugby Amateur Transmitting Society meet at the Borton Lee 12th Rugby Hut from 8 p.m, and that's on Tuesday, and on Saturdays from 2 p.m. On Thursday, the Salop Amateur Radio Society will have a mobile 2-metre band direction finding activity starting at 7:30 p.m. On Thursday, Solihull Amateur Radio Society will meet at the 1st Solihull Scout Headquarters from 8 p.m. Today the 20th, members of the South Derbyshire and Ashby Wolds Amateur Radio Group will visit Barton under Needwood Steam Rally and Family Festival with a meeting on Wednesday from 7 p.m. The Telford and District Amateur Radio Society meet every Wednesday from 7 p.m. at Little Wenlock Village Hall. Then on Wednesday the 23rd they'll build a QRM locating antenna. Tomorrow the 21st, the Welland Valley Amateur Radio Society will meet for a direction finding activity. The Wolverhampton Amateur Radio Society meet every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. at the Wednesfield and Woodend British Legion. And now we have news for the South East and East Anglia. On Monday, Bishop Stortford Amateur Radio Society meet at Farnham Village Hall from 8 p.m, and visitors and new members are always welcome. The Bracknell Amateur Radio Club meet on Wednesdays. This Wednesday it's for a presentation on the history of satellite communication. On Tuesday, Braintree and District Amateur Radio Society meet for their annual barbecue night from 8 p.m. The Breed Stream Amateur Radio Society will get together on Saturday for a meeting. The Bredhurst Receiving and Transmitting Society meet in its shack every Wednesday from 7 p.m, and they'll take part in the 145 event today the 20th from noon to 3 p.m, and they'll use the club call sign Golf X-Ray 0 Bravo Romeo Charlie from their shack in North Kent, and the locator is Juliet Oscar 01 Golf Hotel. The Burnham Beeches Radio Club usually meets on the 1st and 3rd Mondays of the month. Bury St Edmunds Amateur Radio Society meets at the Rougham Tower Museum on the 3rd Wednesday of each month. And the Cambridge and District Amateur Radio Club meet every other Friday. On Tuesday, Chippenham and District Amateur Radio Club will meet from 7:30 p.m. The Crawley Amateur Radio Club meet from 11 a.m. on Sundays and 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. They have talks once a month on a Wednesday, and non-members are most welcome to attend. They meet at Hut 18, which is at the Tilgate Recreational Centre. That's in Tilgate Forest, Crawley in West Sussex, and the postcode is Romeo Hotel 105 Papa Hotel. The Cray Valley Radio Society meet on the first and third Thursdays of the month at the First Royal Eltham Scout Headquarters, which is behind 61 to 71 Southend Crescent in Eltham, and the postcode is Sierra Echo 9 to Sierra Delta. Doors open at 7 p.m. for a 7:30 p.m. start, and visitors are always welcome. On Wednesday, the Darenth Valley Radio Society will meet for Morse practice at Crockenhill Village Hall from 8 p.m. The Dorking and District Radio Society has a Wednesday social meeting via Zoom. The Dover Amateur Radio Club meet on Thursdays from 6:45 p.m. at St Peter and Paul Church Hall. That's on Minnis Lane in Dover, and the postcode is Charlie Tango 170 Romeo Golf. Then on Sunday the 27th, they'll support Grand Field Day at Willsborough. The Fareham and District Amateur Radio Club meet every Wednesday. The Harlow and District Amateur Radio Society meet on Tuesday from 9:30 a.m, while on Friday they meet from 7:30 p.m, and visitors and new members are always welcome to attend. On Monday, the Harwell Amateur Radio Society will meet via Zoom from 7:30 p.m. On Wednesdays, usually at 1 p.m, the Hastings Electronics and Radio Club meet up at various locations in the area for an afternoon of portable operating on HF and VHF using SSB, CW and FM, and non-members are welcome to visit. The details do vary each week, so visit their website on Wednesday mornings to see where and when they'll next meet. On Fridays, the Isle of Wight Radio Society meet at Haylands Farm in Ryde, and foundation and intermediate licence training is available at those meetings. The Itchen Valley Amateur Radio Club will meet on Friday. Also on Friday, the Loughton and Epping Forest Amateur Radio Society will meet at All Saints House, that's from 8 p.m. The Lowestoft and District and Pye Amateur Radio Club meet on Thursday evenings from 7:30 p.m. Now we have news that Mid-Hearts Raynet is on the lookout for suitable volunteers to join their team to help in the smooth running of the group and to support local events. If you're a licensed radio amateur, or if you're studying to become one, and if you can volunteer a few hours each month, then please do get in touch. On Friday, members of the Milton Keynes Amateur Radio Society will have coffee and a chat via Zoom from 10:30 a.m. On Wednesday, the Norfolk Amateur Radio Club will meet at the CNS School in Norwich. The Silverthorne Radio Club meet every Friday evening from 7:30 p.m. at Friday Hall. That's on 56 Friday Hall East in Chingford, and the postcode is Echo 46 Juliet Tango. On Wednesday, the Southdown Amateur Radio Society will have a cafe meeting at 12:15 p.m. The Southampton Amateur Radio Club meet every third Wednesday at Bitton Railway Station. The postcode is Sierra Oscar 181 Golf Golf, and new members are always welcome. On non-meeting Wednesdays, members meet via Zoom, and the login details are available on request. The Stevenage and District Amateur Radio Society meet every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. at the Stevenage Resource Centre. That's on Chells Way in Stevenage, and the postcode is Sierra Golf 20 Lima Tango. And refreshments are available. The Surrey Radio Contact Club meet on the first and third Mondays of the month, except on bank holidays. Tomorrow the 21st, the Verulam Amateur Radio Club will meet for an antenna shootout. And finally, on Friday, the Witton Amateur Radio Group will have a social night. Well, that's all for this week's GB2RS News broadcast. It was brought to you by myself, Graham, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta, and I'm in Meppershall, Bedfordshire. The news was compiled for you by the Radio Society of Great Britain, who represent amateur radio and radio amateurs in the UK and abroad. If you have a news item to share, then please email it to us as far in advance as possible, and we'll be happy to include it for you free of charge in the GB2RS news broadcast, Radcom magazine, and the RSGB website. Just send it to the editorial team. Their email address is radcom@rsgb.org.uk. Now, if your news items are time sensitive, then it is important that you send them to us by 10 a.m. on the Thursday prior to the news broadcasts. We retain copyright over all material transmitted, and you can find information about amateur radio on our website, which is rsgb.org. You can also download the full schedule of GB2RS broadcasts from rsgb.org/GB2RS schedule. Well, we wish you 7-3 from the GB2RS news team. We hope you have a lovely Sunday and a great week ahead. This is Graham, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta, and now moving across to my personal call sign. I'm located in Mapleshall, Bedfordshire, and I'm now listening for any calls or reports.